from the UK perspective, we can go back to the 17th century, really, where it suddenly dawned on the British. And as we all know, the British were pretty good at commerce. We had a particular business model whereby we would come to your country and we'd kill you all and steal your stuff and then take it home and sell it. Or we'd meet you on the high seas and we'd kill you all and steal your stuff and take it home and sell it. And that was working really, really well for us. It was working really, really well for the government. But eventually we had a minor revolt in Britain in the 17th century, and the merchant classes in Britain were beginning to wonder why it was that their counterparts in Holland were suddenly becoming very, very wealthy, and they weren't necessarily having to maintain a huge standing army and a huge navy. And every Tom, Dick, and Harry was able to actually, raise some money and do a business deal and start trading in the East Indies, the West Indies, and these city-states like Antwerp and Ghent were developing remarkably well. The social cohesion was improving, land governance was improving, and so we sent a sort of a gentleman adventurer over to Holland, a man called Andrew Yarrington, to see just what was going on. And he came back to the UK in 1677. He wrote a book. Basically, it's an incredibly long-winded title, but his basic premise was how to defeat the Dutch in war and in commerce with some clever ideas. And one of the fundamental things that he learned was that the reason the Dutch were doing so well in trade and commerce, and why the average merchant in the street, and effectively the whole middle class, was able to trade and to raise their wealth, was because they were able to use their land as security. So Yarrington came back to the UK and he said something to the effect that no great thing can be done without a bank, and no bank can be of benefit to trade or the public, but where there is a registry.